If you look at history, the archetype of the tortured artist striving for greatness, the obsessive painter and the brooding rock star, the visionary film director, is almost always a man. And sociologists, for decades, have tried explaining this through the lens of oppression or patriarchy. But they're missing the raw biological truth. Men did not dominate art because they're just naturally more creative or because they make better art. Men dominated it because they're desperate. If you are an average looking man, or you're socially dysfunctional, or you lack confidence, you are invisible in many ways. And for a person who needs attention, who thrives on getting attention, a lot of people are fine without getting attention. But if you need the attention, that is suffering. You don't naturally possess the social status or the physical beauty required to stop a room. You can't walk into a party and command attention just by existing. So what do? You externalize your value. You lock yourself up in a room for 10,000 hours and you learn how to shred the guitar or direct a movie. Art is not a divine calling for these people. It's a high leverage survival strategy. But for women, the game was entirely different. Women didn't need to make the art to get attention. They were encouraged to be the art. And for a long, long time, we've been trained to distinguish between painting a canvas and painting your face. One, we're told, is serious art, painting a canvas, and the other is vanity, painting your face. Even though they are both the exact same thing, they are both strategic uses of creativity to get attention. Men externalized it, women internalized it. And if you want to see this brutal philosophy in action, the place where you can see it most clearly is a formal gala. Look at the men. You'll see a sea, an ocean of identical black tuxedos. And I talk about this in the book. I say the black tie rule, it is in essence a forced suppression of individual aesthetic expression. Why? Because a man's value in that room is not communicated by how pretty his clothes are. His suit is a uniform of accomplishment. It signals that he has achieved the power and the wealth required to be in the room in the first place. And have you ever noticed how many women consider a suit to be like lingerie for men? Think about that. The man is not the painting. The man is the frame. Now look at the women at the gala. Again, I'll read from my book. It's an explosion of color. 1,000 different silhouettes. Every dress is a unique aesthetic statement, a bid for attention and admiration in a fiercely competitive gallery of living sculptures. The same rules that demand conformity from men encourage radical individuality from the women. Each woman is the artist and the artwork combined. Her presentation is her statement of value in that room. She is the painting. But the mediocre looking male artist spends a decade grinding and making art, dressing up in elaborate costumes and playing the role of a little rebel just to get invited to the gala. But once he's finally there, he puts on the black tux and becomes the frame. This is why when you strip away the PR of the art world, women are always the first to realize that this noble artist myth is a scam. Men might believe the myth, but women see right through it. They see art for what it really is. Someone trying to negotiate with society because of a deficit they're facing in their real life. And why do women know this? Because they're actively pursued by the creative. Women are the subjects. Every woman has experienced some guy trying to write a song about her, or tries to paint her, or try to impress her with his musical knowledge. tries to impress her with, his TV show taste or invites her to his little short film premiere. She knows that the art is not some spiritual expression. It is a peacock tail. It is a mating display. So when an artist says to her, this piece just really speaks to me, she knows what he's really saying is, I spent 100 hours making this just so you would finally look at me. The truth is, the art world actually benefits from excluding the beautiful. Why would you lock yourself in a dark studio for 10 years if you're already winning? If your desires are being met with ease? The artist grinding in his basement is not more talented or blessed than the beautiful popular kid. He is just more desperate. Now, at this point, there'll be at least one person who will say, what are you talking about? Women make art all the time. Go on Instagram, go on TikTok. It's full of women painting, doing ceramics, making pottery, making music. Yes, they do. But look at how they do it. They make art recreationally. It's not a life or death survival mechanism. They don't lock themselves up in their basement for 10,000 hours, destroy their health, and alienate their families trying to master the brushstroke. They paint a watercolor on a Sunday afternoon and they call it a day. They might take a picture of themselves holding it. You have to ask yourself, is the painting the art, or is the girl holding the painting the art? For the male outcast, art is a weapon of war. He desperately tries to create beauty because he struggles to embody it. His physical features can't get him through the door, so art is like a battering ram that you use to smash in the door and finally make it in. But for the woman who already has social value, art is just a personality prop. It's an accessory. It's the whole Instagram painter phenomenon. Art is a way to signal, I'm not just a cute girl. I am a deep, creative, tortured, cute girl. It gives you a bit of a boost with minimal effort. This is why the history books are filled with male so-called geniuses who drove themselves insane and female hobbyists who just painted for fun. You're only going to pay the 10,000 hour toll if you have no other way to make it into the party. Desperate people make history. Beautiful people have hobbies.